The next type of adjectives that we're talking about is adjectives that tell how many. So adjectives can tell how many or about how many. Adjectives that tell how many may include numbers, such as 1, 2, 5, 90. So then there's 3 examples. Derek has 2 brothers and 1 sister. So it tells you how many brothers he has and how many sisters he has. I'm taking 4 classes this semester. So that tells you how many classes that the person's taking. And 16 people are coming to the party. So you know how many people are coming to the party and how much food and stuff you would need for them. Adjectives also include words that tell numerical order. For example, first, second, 5th, 90th. So her house is the 3rd on the right. So you could count all the houses to the right until you get to the 3rd one, and then you know it's that house. The alarm sounded for the 2nd time, so the alarm's gone off 2 times. And that was my 4th trip to California. So they've been to California 4 times. Some adjectives tell about how many. For example, few, several, many, some. They don't tell exact numbers, but they help you figure out around how many people or things you would be talking about. So the first sentence shows exactly how many. So 6 hikers went down into the canyon today. So that's an exact number. Then the next sentence isn't about how many. So several people went to the visitor center to see the film. So this isn't an exact number, but you know it's more than one person. Now, it wants us to pick the sentence that has an adjective that tells about how many. So the Grand Canyon is in Arizona, some trails are quite steep, or the canyon is a natural wonder. So the only one that has how many would be B, and it has the word some as the adjective. You're right if you said sentence B. Excuse me. The adjective some tells about how many trails. Some is not an exact amount. For exercise 1, we need to find the adjectives and tell whether each tells about how many or exactly how many. So number 1 is many tourists. So many, and that is about how many. The next one is 10 mules. So 10 is exact. So I'm going to, oops, I said that wrong. Third trail. Third is an adjective, and that tells you exactly how many trails. Some rocks isn't about how many because it doesn't tell us a specific number. Number 5, few people, few, and that one is an about. 20 miles is an exact amount. Several schools would be an about because it doesn't give us a specific number. And 2 guides is exact because it tells us the number of people. And then for exercise 2, find the adjective that tells how many in each sentence. Tell whether it tells us about, Tell whether the adjective tells about how many or exactly how many. So 10 people were in our tour group to the Grand Canyon. So it's at the very beginning. 10, and that says exactly, because it's saying there's exactly 10 people. I became friendly with 2 students from Mexico. 2, and that's another exact. So if you see a number word in your sentence, you know that's going to be an adjective, so you can highlight those ones quickly. Many visitors to the canyon made the hike. Many, and that's an about. Some visitors preferred to ride on mules. Some would be an about. The first settlers in the area were Pueblo. First is an exact amount because there was nobody before them. Some Native Americans still live in the area. That's an about how many. My family has made a few trips to the Grand Canyon. Few. Whoops. And that's about. Number 8. Many friends of mine have also visited there. Many is an about. It doesn't tell us the exact number of friends. It took us several hours to make the hike. Several, another about. We spent 3 nights camping in the Grand Canyon. 3, and that's exact. Next one, my cousin's trip through the Grand Canyon lasted 4 days. And that's an exact number. It was her 5th trip to the Grand Canyon. So 5th, and that's another exact. How many? Whoops. The Grand Canyon is 1 mile deep in places. And that's an exact number. And the last one, there are some mountain lions in the park. Some, and that's about how many. Then for exercise 3, we need to put an adjective that tells how many in each sentence. And at the end, it tells us if it needs to be an exact number or an about how many number. So the first one is exactly how many blank students have visited the Grand Canyon. So we need to pick a number of students. So I'm going to say 5. Capital letter F because it's the start of a sentence. We spent blank days at the Grand Canyon. 6 days. Exactly how many? We saw blank sunrises over the Grand Canyon. 4. Our family took about how many? So remember, about how many could be few, several, many, some. So our family took many photos. There were blank tourists in the canyon. We're going to say several. Okay? And that is your adjective work for today. So adjectives can describe something, or they can tell how much or how many of something you have.